A shift in the pound-for-pound rankings coming out of UFC 315 plus WWE hits all the right notes on the Raw after Backlash. Couch Potato Diary Live starts right now. Welcome everyone to Couch Potato Diary. My name is Peter Klein. Thank you very much for hanging out today. The live part again, a little bit not accurate. We'll be back to the live streams, hopefully, next week. So today, like mentioned before, going to be looking at the pound-for-pound rankings changes in the UFC, both men's and women's sides, after UFC 315 in Montreal, and we'll be looking at WWE Raw following Backlash. As always, Couch Potato Diary presented by Sea of Dead. Check out seaofdead403.ca. I've been telling you guys we got new stuff coming. The new stuff is here. So check out the website, seaofdead403.ca. Also, head over to swiftenergy.gg. Use the code PKPrimetime for 25% off. They got some great drinks that'll help you get through the day energy-wise. So let's dive right in, as the Ultimate Fighting Championship had another pay-per-view over the weekend, which means that we're going to have some shifts in the pound-for-pound rankings, and we have a couple big ones, actually. So let's dive right into it. UFC 315 went down in Montreal, and with that we have a new welterweight champion, which probably means we have some changes to the ratings, or the rankings, sorry. So here are the new pound-for-pound rankings for UFC coming out of UFC 315. We will start at number 10, and actually haven't updated these in a little bit, so Magomed-Ankalaev makes his debut in the top 10 coming off of the massive win over Alex Pereira, and I just, again, Pereira is someone who is, has an all-time resume already, and we've talked about how much appreciation I have for what he has done, and so I just, you have to reward someone who beat them. So Ankalaev gets on the list here at number 10. At 9, it is Pantoja. He sticks around in that number 9 slot, and probably a little bit underrated, but it is just, you don't have a lot of other pound-for-pound greats in his area right now, or in his weight class, and so that's a little bit difficult for him to move up. At number 8, it is Merab Dvalishvili. At 7, it is Pereira, who, even with the loss to Ankalaev, I still don't think you can take away what Poatan has done, and everything from wins over guys who were high up in the pound-for-pound rankings at the time, and now multiple championships and all those things. I still think you have to keep him up on this list, and over Ankalaev right now. At 6, it is John Jones. We got to get this thing going soon, though. At 5, Alex Volkanovski gets back up there after getting back into the championship picture in the UFC. At 4, it is Tom Aspinall. Again, it does feel weird to have the interim champion ahead of the heavyweight champion, but Aspinall, maybe we aren't looking at a whole lot of pound-for-pound greats that he is running through, but the dominance that he has shown at the highest level of the heavyweight division, I had to put him up higher on this list. So he gets the spot at number 4. At 3, it is Dricus du Plessis. At 2, it is Ilia Topuria, who probably had a shot of making the number 1 spot. If things on Saturday didn't go the way they did, he may have to wait for that now. And number 1, it is Islam Makhachev. So a couple of names you didn't hear. Bilal Muhammad is off of the list. It's a tough loss against Jack Della Maddalena. I just think he has to come off of it because he does not have the amount of high-level wins that are required, I think, to keep you on while not being a champion in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, so I had to take him off of there. And Jack Della Maddalena doesn't crack the top 10 for me. It's a major win, and it's weird to not have a champion in the pound-for-pound top 10 rankings right now, but I just, again, biggest win of his career. I just don't think he has the full resume yet to get into the pound-for-pound top 10 conversation. So the two fighters in the welterweight title fight, neither of them making the updated pound-for-pound rankings. So that is it on the men's side. What about the women's side? We have some more changes going to that one coming off of UFC 315. So, after UFC 315, one of the all-time pound-for-pound greats is still the champion, Valentina Shevchenko, with the win. That and her spot on the rankings probably not going to change, but we do have a couple other alterations that have been made over the last couple of months, so let's roll through them. At number 10, debuting on the top 10, Natalia Silva, coming off of a dominant win against a former champion, I think really does show how good she is and how good she can be. And so there is a little bit of projecting in this ranking. And I do think that there is a little bit of me just assuming what she can be by putting her on this top 10 list, but I just think the world of the talents that we saw from her on Saturday against Alexa Grasso, and it's a big win against a former champion and someone who was on this list. At number 9, Tatiana Suarez, coming off of the first setback of her career, I still think that she has the high-quality resume to deserve a spot in the top 10. At number 8, it is Rose Namajunas. Again, we've had a couple of stumbles, but I just think that this is a little bit more of a legacy one, and I still think you have to have Rose in your top 10. Erin Blanchfield comes in at number 7. Does have a bit of a setback, but has bounced back from that and now has a massive fight coming up at the end of the month against Macy Barber. And it's an opportunity for her to, I think, really cement her place as one of the greats in the sport right now. I think she is that good. I think she is that talented. And I still think she has the resume to deserve a spot in the top 10. So she is at number 7. At 6, it's Manon Fiorot, who does drop a couple of spots coming off of a loss. I think she hung with Valentina Shevchenko. I think she showed up really, really well. And so because of that, I think that she is still deserving of being on this list. So Fiorot sticks around just outside the top 5. At 5, it is the next title challenger, in Kayla Harrison. She gets the spot at number 5. A lot of it is outside of the UFC and the dominance that she showed, but she is showing that now in the Ultimate Fighting Championship as well. And so because of that, I think you have to give her a spot here. At 4, Yan Xiaonan, who, again, has had some setbacks, but has shown to be a high-level fighter, and so probably a little high. It just kind of going through this now, that might be a bit of a higher ranking for her, but I still think that she is that talented of a fighter, that she is deserving of that spot. At 3, it is Juliana Pena. I do not like the kind of character that she is trying to portray in this heel version and everything like that. Like she's kind of bad at it, but she is a good fighter and has a lot of high level qualities as a champion right now. So she comes in at number 3. At 2, it is Zhang Weili. Again, just one of the best fighters in the world, and I think a lot of her as a fighter, and I think there are maybe a few times in the sport that she would be number 1, but right now it is Valentina Shevchenko, who is just on another level. It's another high-level win for her, a fun one at that. There is a clear number 1 in the women's pound-for-pound rankings right now, and that is Valentina Shevchenko. So, at the bottom, Natalia Silva is the new addition to the list. That does mean someone has to come off, and that someone was Alexa Grasso. It is 2 underwhelming performances in a row that offsets the one big win she had over Shevchenko. So, it is weird to have someone who beat the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter on the list not be on the list, but it has been so underwhelming the last couple of fights that I cannot put her as one of the top 10 female fighters in the sport, or in the UFC anyway, right now. So that is the updated pound-for-pound rankings coming out of UFC 315. Let's move over to the WWE as they are looking to build some momentum coming off of Backlash, and I would say they certainly delivered on that. Let's go over what happened on Monday Night Raw. Wrong one. WWE Monday Night Raw going down after Backlash, and we'll run through it here. Sorry. I think this was a home run. I think they did a phenomenal job of kind of building up a number of different things and really building up some momentum in this. I think they set up the Rollins, Punk, all of that stuff very, very well. I think the promos with everyone involved were excellent. The brawls, the beatdown in the back, I think it's hitting all the right notes. The one thing that I'm not loving about a lot of the talk around the Rollins group right now is everyone's like, oh, you know what? It's the next evolution. Yeah, it's Paul Heyman, Ric Flair, Seth Rollins, Triple H. They have their Batista now, so now we're just looking for Randy Orton. Oh, well, it has to be Austin Theory. And I don't think we need to do that beat by beat. You know, I think you can have your own group in your own way. I know that there can be a lot of things wrong with the internet wrestling community. This is one thing we do a lot, is we see something that is kind of similar, and it's like, oh, well, we have to go with this now. And it's like, well, you have to hit beat by beat everything that was in this group. It has to be this, it has to be a this, it has to be a this. We do this with storylines too. Like, for a long time, the best way to introduce someone in the internet wrestling community's minds was, okay, you have this guy come out and you have him cut a promo and say that he's beat everybody and there's nothing left for him to do. And then the music hits and, oh my God, it's this guy. And now he has something left to do, which is, it's a great way of introducing someone. Like Goldberg, when they introduced Goldberg in that exact way. But it was the example everyone used always when there was a new whatever coming into the company. Brock Lesnar coming back, or you name your whoever you want. It was always oh, well, it's that. Let's go with that one. And now recently, everyone wants the WrestleMania main event to be the WrestleMania 40 main event, right? Like, how many times were you thinking, and look, I got caught up in it too, where it's, okay, it's going to be Cena against Cody Rhodes, and, oh my God, out comes Travis Scott, but don't worry, it's Bad Bunny, or Sami Zayn, or whoever, coming out to save the day. Oh, but now The Rock's music hit, and sweet Jesus, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin who comes out. It's like, okay, yes, that would be awesome. And it was, when they did it at WrestleMania 40, with almost the exact same people. So, we can tend to fall into the, well, we have seen this before, and oh, we can do a tribute act to this. I don't think you need to shoehorn Austin Theory into this, because he is somewhat similar to what 2004 Randy Orton was, just because you kind of want to have Evolution back again. Do that in the video game. I don't think Austin Theory is ready for this sort of a thing. Quite frankly, I think if you put Austin Theory in this, it would be like if they would have put Mark Jindrak in the original Evolution. Austin Theory has a look and he has a talent, but it has not been put together in any way, shape, or form. That leads me to believe that there could be something there to turn him into the next Randy Orton in this pretty important group on Monday Night Raw. Honestly, Grayson Waller would probably be a bit of a better fit if you could kind of tone down the goofy and kind of serious him up a little bit. I think he would be a better fit. But, I mean, look, there is going to be a lot of talk about who the third man is. Probably not Mabel. Shout out the 3 people who get that joke. But I would want to caution against just putting someone in there because it fits this one group that we all really liked, that this is somewhat similar to. I don't think Paul Heyman's winning the tag team titles either. Just putting that out there. So that, just a little thing that I've noticed out on the chatter around this. Roxy and Giulia against Io and Rhea was a ton of fun. The match itself I thought was fantastic and a really, really good showcase. You don't love beating the young team so early, but I do think there is good value in just being in a very, very good matchup like this. And I thought, again, it was a great match and a really good showcase. One thing that I'm getting frustrated with, apparently this is just a segment of me bitching about the internet wrestling community, but you see a few people posting online, when Giulia comes out, it is not a massive crowd reaction. And a lot of people pointing, oh, crowd reaction for Giulia, not strong. Oh man, guess everyone was wrong about the hype around this girl. And it's like, look, no shit. Like, she has been on the main roster for 3 weeks. Let's chill. Like, people's excitement over, at least mine. My excitement for Giulia wasn't, oh man, this girl is going to be super over right away. It is, no, this is one of the best wrestlers in the world. So we're going to get to appreciate her now at a high level. And eventually those crowd reactions are going to be there. But just to assume that someone who, like, this is one of her first walk down the ring with music intros ever in WWE, and to assume, on the main roster, and so to assume that, oh, well, the crowd reaction is going to be insane. Oh, it wasn't? Failure of a character, failure of a call-up. That's just, it's so dumb, and it is so... if I went through it, it's probably a lot of people who are AEW fans trying to be defensive about things and stuff like that. But it's really frustrating when you see that right away. It's, oh yeah, no, she's a bust. It's been 2 weeks. Let's chill a little bit, shall we? Elsewhere, Jay's promo I thought was fantastic. Like, the crowd is so behind him right now. And then he calls out Logan Paul, does exactly what he needs to do to build up Saturday night's main event. And then right after it, Gunther saying, I'm going to put you in your place. And Jay's like, no, I'm in my place. I thought that was I thought that was excellent. I thought it was a great rebuttal from his character and exactly what it needed to be from Jey. Same thing with Becky Lynch coming off of a loss at Backlash. Becky Lynch with another just fantastic promo. I would have liked a little bit more Valkyria on this show coming off of the biggest win of her main roster time, but Becky proving on the show why she is one of the best ever. And we're all having fun with this El Grande Americano thing. I think we need to take a step forward with it now. The Gable Penta matchup was fantastic, but it's kind of the same story every week, and so I think we need a little bit of an evolution in this one before we can like really get going into it, because it is becoming very one note. Like, oh, it's Chad Gable, oh, it's in a mask, and everyone knows what it is, and oh, he's putting some metal in there now, which probably really hurts, but whatever. We need a little bit more advancement from this story now, moving forward. So those are my thoughts on what we saw from Monday Night Raw. Again, a really good show, and WWE building up some momentum coming off of what was a very, very good WWE Backlash. That's going to do it for the podcast today. Thank you so much for hanging out and tuning in. My name is Peter Klein. You can follow me on social media. I'm at Primetime Klein, wherever you are socially. If you are listening to this in podcast form, thank you so much. Leave a review, and a subscription would be amazing. Same thing goes for the YouTube side. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, and leave a comment what you thought about anything that we talked about on the episode today. Check out Sea of Dead, seaofdead403.ca. Got that great Calgary swag. Got some new Calgary swag. We got a new different style of Calgary Cannons hat. We're celebrating Greek pizza in Calgary with a partnership with Nico's, as well as Worst. We have a Worst shirt out now. Getting into, winding down the soccer season and all of that. It's a nice reminder of some great times had watching some footy over at Worst. So get the shirt there. Sea of Dead 403.ca. And of course, check out Swift Energy. You can tell I'm kind of buzzing today. Swift Energy helping with that. Go to swiftenergy.gg. Use the code PKPrimetime for that 25% off. Still have a couple more things I would like to do this week, but that might get pushed to next week. To make sure you get all the great Couch Potato Diary content, make sure you subscribe, and I'll talk to all of you later.